And we back. We're gonna react to Stephen A. Smith to what he said about LeBron. What LeBron said about him on a Pat McAfee show. But before we start, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also we do a weekly podcast hosted by me and my co-host Mohammed Khan. Just get it. If you get a chance, go out there and check that out. We do it every Tuesday and Thursday, so usually about 2 episodes a week. So go check that out. We recap basketball. I mean the NBA, NFL. Right now the NFL is not on, so right now we're mainly doing basketball. So yeah, go check that out. But let's get into it. Let's just see what brother Stephen A. Smith got to say. And I ain't gonna lie, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. He's doing big things too, Mr. $100 million man. Y'all know what it is. Let's pick it up. Let's see what he got to say.
Day, and it's with some sports talk, media news, and my good friend, Mr. LeBron James. Mm-hmm. LeBron appeared on the Pat McAfee show.
I ain't gonna lie, Stephen A. Smith. That was sassy shit. My friend Stephen A. Smith, my friend LeBron James. Let's go back. That was sassy as shit.
With some sports talk, media news, and my good friend, Mr. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron appeared on the Pat McAfee show today and made a few headlines with his thoughts on a number of topics, including yours truly. For those of you who didn't see it, I'll play it for you right here. This is LeBron James on Pat McAfee talking about me.
Which leads, obviously, to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, on fire. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like seriously, it's and like another. He completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
The tighty whitey is crazy.
Relax, bro. Like relax.
Were you recently?
Oh my God. But yeah, like just to address that, what am I clicking on? But yeah, it is crazy because LeBron usually never like confront anybody. So Stephen A. Smith, like, yeah, obviously he's a man. He got to say what he got to say. But this is a good look for Stephen A. Smith. Ratings gonna be up. Stephen A. Smith is probably the most popular sport analyst, journalist, whatever. This is, people can say whatever he want to say. He making fun of him, but he's the first sport analyst that ever really got LeBron's attention. Let's talk about that. So that lets you know, like, he got his attention. I know it's like his son, but he got it. Let's go. Oh wait, let's put the forgot the.
His comment was funny because I don't wear tighty whities. Let you figure out why that is. But moving on from that particular subject, I don't happen to consider anything that LeBron has said a laughing matter. So y'all wanted me to be serious, I'll be serious. And I know there's some people out there that's going to be like, oh, I'm milking the story for all it's worth. Well,
do it.
I've been winning in television for quite some time.
Facts.
I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron, and I don't need an incident like this to get ratings. LeBron gives us plenty of ammunition to talk about him, both good and bad. So let's get that out the way first. Let's also get out the way that major props to Pat McAfee for getting that interview. There's a lot of people that's been texting me, and he's a teammate. He's on ESPN. Why would he do that? Please, y'all, be quiet. Pat McAfee did nothing wrong. Pat McAfee did his job.
I fuck with Stephen A. Smith with that one. He's not being sensitive. He's addressing the elephant in the room. LeBron James talking about him. Pat McAfee's doing his job. And then that's the job, and and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I fuck with Stephen A. Smith, bro. Like, I don't fuck with some of his takes, but overall, I think he do a good job.
Pat McAfee has a show that airs on ESPN. You have an opportunity to get LeBron James. You take him. I don't give a damn who you are.
Facts.
This is one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. You
Facts.
get him. If you have an opportunity to get him, you get him. And I didn't think that Pat McAfee disrespected me or did me wrong in any way. He did his job, and I got no problems with it. My issue is with LeBron James. And I just want to say for the record, LeBron James is full of it. And in this particular instance, as it pertains to his son, he is a liar.
Ooh.
And he went on national television today and he lied again.
Oh shit.
You see, when
they do be saying Bron be lying. They do be saying Bron be lying though. Like, more they be saying Bron don't be reading those books. They say Bron be lying, bro. Bron literally got on TV. He said he told his man that he knew Kobe was gonna go for 81 that night. Bron said that. That's one of the lies, bro. And one of them, Rashford from like Man United, got on the show one time. He was like, it was a saying or whatever. The guy said, yeah, like, I think it was something, not verbatim, don't quote me, but I think he said something like, yo, like, I like it when the odds is against me or whatever. LeBron was like, yeah, that's my favorite saying too. That's my favorite saying too. They do say Bron be lying. I don't know.
when he approached me while I was sitting courtside at that game against the New York Knicks.
Yes.
When he rolled up on me, I didn't know he was going to roll up on me. I had no idea. But when he said what he had to say, I was in no position to give any kind of retort without making a scene. It was during the third quarter. It was fresh out of a timeout. It was him walking to the basketball court. It was on national television. The cameras were rolling. And had I done something, what do y'all want me to do? You want me to act? You want this to be a reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith?
Hey, I don't fucking wait. I gotta put my glasses on. That's a good point. I think he made a business decision because reincarnation of Chris Rock and Will Smith. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. You feel me? So, do you want that to happen again? But this time with a guy that's 6'8", built like a Mack truck. If you slap, you probably make your head spin 3 times and probably pick it up and put it back on your head. He made a business decision, but I like this. Stephen A. funny. That's why I like it. That's why you the guy. When they get heated, I got to put my glasses on. Let's keep it up. Let's go.
Let me state for the record that while we bring up that, let me assure you, it wouldn't have gone down like that.
Whoa, buddy. I was on your side, buddy. Come on, what are you doing, buddy? I was just on your side. You said that you didn't want to get slapped. Now you're talking about it wasn't going to go down like that. What are you talking about, buddy? Look at me, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Come on, we both know what was going to happen. You know he's going to send you upstairs. Amen. You know he's going to send you over there, right? You knew that, right? Bron was going to send you up there. Up and away. But let's continue. Nonetheless, let's continue. Let's continue.
Would have gotten my ass kicked.
Wait.
Because let me assure you, it wouldn't have gone down like that. I would have gotten my ass kicked.
Okay, that's
because
he's being honest. He's being honest right now. He's being honest.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him.
I got to bring this shit down. Stephen A. Smith said, you said you was going to do what? To who? And when? And where? And how? You was going to swing on Bron? Like, what you mean, like, swing? Like, you was going to, like you going to tap him? Like, what do you mean swing? Like, it's a lot of things when you talk about swinging. Like, what? Like a swing set? Like, what do you mean swing? Like, you got to break that down for me, buddy.
Immediate. Because
the way he shook his head immediately, that's not convincing. What you just did, that's how your head was gonna be moving if LeBron would have put their hands on you. If LeBron would have punched you, your head would have been moving like this immediately. I'm telling you, buddy.
That man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung.
Stop the cap.
I don't believe you. We need more people. Cap. Steven, I can look in your eyes, Steven, and know you lying, bro. You was not. You. If that man would have hit you, security. Nigga, you was gonna jump behind those chairs and got the fuck up out of there. Let's just stop lying, bro. Matter of fact, hold on.
Yeah, make it more free. Yeah, push. Come on. Come on, it's your last round. So push. Clean up that cup more. Raise them up. Yeah, make it more free. Yep.
Steven S. what the fuck is this?
Push. Come on.
What the fuck is this?
Your last round. So push. Clean up that cup more. Raise them up. Yeah, make it more free. Yeah, push. Come on. Come on, it's your last round. So push. Clean up that cup more. Raise them up. Yeah, make it more free. Yeah, push. Come on.
This the nigga that's gonna swing on LeBron immediately, him? With those punches right there? That right there? That right there? His arm don't even come off his shoulder. That boy attached. That right there? We gotta watch it again. I can't believe it.
Come on. It's your last round. So push. Clean up that cup more.
The uppercut looked like it was giving a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The way he threw that uppercut looked like it was giving a little bit, right? That was giving a little bit. All right.
Yeah, make it more free.
But like, why is he punching down? Who's down there? Like, Steven, you gotta go up. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta uppercut because Bron is like 6'9", so you punching down. So I'm assuming you thinking when you gonna drop him and you gonna have to like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, push.
And I guarantee you, his nephew's in the background making that clapping sound, pop, like pause, whoa. But I'm saying his nephew is behind him, and every time he swing, he doing this to make it sound like he really hitting that pad hard. He really not.
Come on.
We know what y'all doing.
Come on, it's your last round. So push. Clean up that cup more. Raise them up. Yeah, make it more.
Yeah, like, dog. You fight Bron, you gonna die. Like, deceased. You out of there. That right there, you gonna swing on him immediately? Bro, we out of here, bro. Like, Stephen A. Stop playing with me, bro. We out of here, bro. Let's continue.
Immediately.
Cap.
That I'm not going to tolerate. But I knew he wasn't going to do something like that. There was no fear in my mind about it.
Because you was going to sue him. 50 mil. You was going to sue him. Facts. You're not swinging immediately, nigga. You calling the lawyer immediately.
It was shock. Because as I have repeatedly stated, I was not talking about his son. I was talking about him. And whether it's the video that you saw him a couple of days later after that incident when he was talking to Richard Jefferson, my colleague at ESPN, before an ABC game in Boston when it got blown out that night by the Celtics, or in the aftermath of it, including Pat.
You didn't have to say that. It got blown out by the Celtics. You didn't have to say all that, Stephen A. Smith. I see what you're doing, but let's continue.
McAfee show when he talked about me getting personal and taking it beyond basketball. I'm getting to a point where I'm getting very annoyed at people who cover the game of basketball, who cover professional sports, pundits out there, including him, his inner circle, his family members, and everybody else included. When are y'all going to ask him or hold him accountable for the truth?
What's the truth, Stephen A? You saying LeBron is full of it. Either he full of lie, full of shit, or full of muscle that's gonna knock you out. But you saying we need to hold him accountable. The truth. What's the truth? They do say Bron got a track record of lying. I'm I'm just investigating. You feel me? I'm just doing my job. They say Bron be lying. You feel me? So, like I'm not saying he do. That's what you feel me.
I have not been talking about Bronny James. I have not, as LeBron James accused me of doing to my face, been shitting on his son.
Huh?
I clapped back at D Wade and Melo, two brothers I love dearly, when they were talking about this, even though 99% of the stuff.
I'm lost. So you wasn't talking about Bron, son. You was talking about. So what are we talking about here then? Like, let me go back.
Shitting on his son.
Wait, what?
Not, as LeBron James accused me of doing to my face, been shitting on his son. I clapped back at D Wade and Melo, two brothers I love dearly, when they were talking about this, even though 99% of the stuff they said was right. It was not clapping back at his son. Your second round pick, 55th overall. There's been plenty of second round picks that have to work their way up through the ranks before getting to the pro level.
So
me pointing that out about his son and talking about how his son has been pushed to the forefront, thereby put in a line of fire for folks in the media to come at him, is not denigrating his son. It's simply highlighting what we all knew, which is that he's not ready yet. But based on what we've seen from Bronny recently, there are indications that he will be. And as LeBron James pointed out on the Pat McAfee show today, it's probably sooner than later, because his growth and his maturation from just a year ago has happened by leaps and bounds. Nothing but respect and appreciation. Wishing Bronny nothing but the best. This is not about Bronny. This is about LeBron.
So what I'm not understanding, right, is like, so just to get clarification, are you talking about Bronny and LeBron? Are you talking about Bronny? Like, you talking about both of them? So, like, let's just cut it out, Stephen A. Smith. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, you did say, like, LeBron pleading with you as a father, and like, so LeBron is saying you took it personal. You went to the personal route. You mentioned him as him being his parenting, so he has an issue with that. So, and because to me now it's like, what are we talking about now? Obviously, it's all around because of Bronny got drafted and how he got drafted. Okay, we all know that. But it's like, if he's still lingering around that's cool. You can talk about his game and all of that. But if you get personal, then you just getting personal. So I'm going to let him talk, though, so I can see where he going with it.
This is about LeBron. And when you sit up there and you talk about, I love talking about, I don't need something like this to happen to talk about LeBron. He plays for the Lakers. He is LeBron James. I don't need an incident like this to talk about LeBron James.
Well, it's good for you.
I use him for ratings? You're damn right. Like I use anything in the news for ratings. Because I'm a reporter and a personality and a pundit and a commentator.
That's a fact.
That's my career.
That's a fact.
Of course I talk about him.
Yep, I agree.
Of course I talk about anything relevant in the news. One minute it's LeBron, another minute it's the Cowboys. Y'all act like that's all I talk about. For 2 hours a day, 10 hours a week live, all I talk about is LeBron and the Cowboys. Are you sure? Because I can pick a whole bunch of things I've gotten in trouble for opening my mouth about. But that's neither here nor there. Because let's not get distracted from the real point at hand. The real point at hand is this. LeBron James continues to lie.
What did he lie about? I'm still waiting on the lie.
He hoodwinked y'all into thinking that he was upset about criticism about his son. If your son is a professional basketball player, and I was talking about your son as a basketball player, since you just went on Pat McAfee's show and said you would never knock anybody for talking about the game, then what is it that I said? What I said was, as a father, stop. I wasn't talking about you as a father, as somebody that's home, minding your business, and I just call you out because your son is in this position. That's not the father I've been talking about. That's why I've been addressing Draymond Green,
So,
who's been an avid supporter of LeBron on this matter. All I'm asking is for comprehension of the actual point. How do you mention Bronny James without bringing up how he got drafted by the Lakers? How he got drafted, period. How do you bring that up without bringing up LeBron James saying he was better than some NBA players before he got to the NBA? How do you bring that up without bringing up that LeBron James said, quote, if you want me, draft my son. At this point, it ain't about the money. I'll play for free. That was LeBron. How is it? I mean, I understand cynics. I understand this pinch.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it real quick. So, okay, Stephen A. He's making some valid point that I agree with personally. Yes, you have the right to talk about how Bronny got drafted. You have the right to talk about that LeBron made a push to get him. Again, we don't talk about this nepotism. Okay, great. But, right, so that's a great point to make. LeBron said he doesn't have a problem you criticizing the game. So if we're still, Bronny got, I don't even know when was the draft, months ago. So we're past the draft. Not that he's playing. Yes, you can still mention it, whatever the case may be. But the kid is playing basketball. Let's just critique his game, which you've done it. You have done that. But when you say that comprehension here, you say you're not talking about LeBron as a father at home somewhere. You're talking about LeBron the father as what? At home in an NBA court, wherever he's at, he's still a father. So what are we talking about? Like he's still a father everywhere you go. It's not like it's a part-time job. You're a father at home, but you're not a father when you guys playing back. Like, I don't understand that. I want more details or more breakdown of what you mean, because you're talking about comprehension. But you yourself, Stephen A. Smith, I've heard you say that, what's his name? Bronny got drafted through nepotism. Again, you say, but what's wrong with that? Other people do it. I wouldn't mind doing it. Okay, so if you embrace it, and embrace it all the way, and embrace that, how you got drafted and how nepotism played a part in that, embrace that. And then once because you said it, that, it's not a bad thing that you would do it yourself. I believe you say you do it yourself, or you say other people do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Many people have echoed the same thing. So if that's the case, if I embrace something, I embrace it. Now let's move on from there. Let's just talk about Bronny games. I agree when you said Bronny wasn't ready to play against Philadelphia because Maxey was out there cooking him. I agree when you say Bronny is not ready. It needs to stay in the G League or whatever. I agree with that. Now when you say, LeBron, I'm pleading with you as a father, and then you put up Bronny's stats, knowing that he's playing 1.2 or 1.4 minutes, averaging 0.3, 0.2 and this and that. You clearly know that that's not an indicator that a person is not fit or ready to play in the NBA, because he literally playing only 1 minute. So obviously you're poking at that situation, try to make light of it, or even making fun of it. I watched the video. You put your head down, brought down, plead. Did you know Bronny? So obviously you struck a chord. So you can't just play all victim now. And you're right. LeBron did put a target on Bronny's back on the way how he got drafted and some of the comments he made. I agree with that. Now let's critique his game. Bron put that target on him, and he was talking about basketball. Let's talk about basketball. Basketball. That's it, Stephen.
To just hate the player and not the game. I understand how it's tempting to just come at me because you might dislike me or might disagree with me if you're Joe Public or Susie Public out there. I get it. But don't the truth matter?
If you really want to be a CEO, want to be an entrepreneur. The
truth matters, and the truth shall set you free. But Stephen, I'm still waiting on, what are you talking about though? Like, I understand what you're talking about, but I'm saying, where's the lie and where's the other stuff? I'm waiting.
Because there's one person in this ordeal that's telling the truth, and it's me. I don't lie to y'all.
Stephen, you don't be lying. But Stephen Smith, you say you don't be lying. You clearly stated that, you be at the games. If people want to approach you, they know where to find you. They can approach you. When LeBron approach you, well, I guess that's not lying. You just didn't keep the same energy. But yeah, honestly, I can't recall a time where I can say you were lying. But in this case, I won't even say you're lying. But it's like, what did LeBron lie about? LeBron didn't. It is about his son, and it is also about you're talking about him as a father. So I don't know.
His ass lies a lot. And there's a lot of shady stuff that he does. And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness and the two-facedness and smile in your face and dig you behind the back.
Whoa. Steven, you gotta pause that. What you mean dig you behind the back? We don't play that.
And one of the things is his passive aggressiveness. And the two-facedness. And smile in your face and dig you behind the back.
Pause. That is wild. But let's continue.
I happen to know that about him. Which is why I don't like him.
Oh. He said you don't like bruh. Oh my God. I love this. The battle of the hairline. I love this shit, bro.
And he don't like me. But it doesn't stop me from being fair and calling it like I see it. We ain't exchanging Christmas gifts. We ain't having Thanksgiving dinner together. What you bring your son up in there for? What you bring your family up in there before? You gonna go on Pat McAfee show, talk about you gonna protect your house. What you talking about? Your son ain't at the house. He's at crypto.com arena. We ain't covering him in Brentwood. We covering him in downtown LA at the crypto.com arena. Where you put him.
Then Stephen A. Smith, if that's the case, then talk about the game. What the fuck then him playing at crypto.com hoping got to do with LeBron being a father? Like I say, if you say Bronny ass, I'm right with you. I'm like, okay, that's your opinion.
Now, I happen to believe that he's going to be ready. I think Bronny's going to be an NBA player. I believe in the kid, personally. But LeBron did this. Now, to get to he and I, could y'all please go back to the video of him getting in my face? If you watch, ladies and gentlemen, and you see it for yourself, notice how LeBron is in my face, and right when he finishes, he looks past me right at the camera that was filming it. Watch him. I didn't even pick that up first go round. You got Markieff Morris to my right, his left. You got Scott Brooks, assistant coach, behind him. He finishes talking and looks right up to the camera. Everybody and their mother knew I was going to be there. Because when you sit courtside, the Lakers have an idea of who's going to show up. He knew I was coming. And picked the third quarter in the middle of the game to say what he has to say.
Okay, so okay, he knew you were coming. So like, he looked at the camera. So what are you saying? That was all planned. Like, well, I mean, the confrontation. He probably was like, he gonna be here. I'm gonna confront him. Maybe that was planned. But like, so he looked at the camera. What does that mean? I don't understand that. Was that you trying to say he planned that? He put that there? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I still don't get it. I like people to be direct. He looked at the camera because he knew that the camera was on us. Like, just say everything. I don't like vague little asterisk thing. Just say it.
To make sure the camera's rolling.
Okay.
And to then look at the camera after immediately saying what he said to me, with me having no chance to respond.
Stephen A. Smith, you telling me LeBron went and orchestrated all of this, put the camera in this behind you right there just to make sure they got that angle? There was a different angle. Also, did he put the other camera? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that, bro. That is just kind of crazy.
We could have went to the back after the game. LeBron James could have came right over the press row and said, "Yo, don't leave. I want to see you after the game. We got to have a conversation." And before...
I can agree with that. Yeah, I think LeBron could have done that, approach him like, yo, like, I want to chop it up with you. I think that would have been a fair, approach. And it wouldn't be in the media like this. So I think that would have been the best way to do it. But now that it's out in the open, God damn it, we're going to react to it.
Any of these players or any professional athlete or anybody associated with them says another syllable, think about this. 99. 99% of y'all would have done that. Y'all have said, Stephen A, don't leave. I ain't see you, bro. After the game, LeBron didn't want that. Because LeBron would have had to deal with my response. And my response would have been, you did this. This ain't me. Don't put this on me. Why the hell are you putting your son in this position knowing we got to cover him? If we don't cover him, we ain't doing our job. Why would you do that? That's what I would have said to him. But he didn't want a response. He didn't want that. Because LeBron wanted to give smoke. He didn't want to take any. What am I talking about? I have even more nuggets of info to give y'all on that point. Brother don't like smoke. He just likes to give it. Typical bully mentality. It ain't working with me. What am I talking about exactly? I'll tell you right after this break from our sponsors.
Amazon is the biggest company in the world.
Yeah. That is some things that's being said. But let's just see the nuggets that he's talking about. And I want to see that nugget that he's talking about. Let me see. Is this the commercial?
Yeah, right. College basketball is in full effect. And with all this action jumping off, LeBron is one of those dudes who believes he's up here. And folks, particularly in the media, are down here. There are exceptions, you know, in moments that he needs others. But that's who he is. Cool. LeBron has a show called The Shop. Once upon a time, Rich Pauls, the Maverick Carters came up to me, gotta have you on. I said, simple and plain, no problem. Only on one condition. Two conditions, I'm sorry. LeBron must be there because there are times where The Shop was aired and LeBron wasn't in attendance. I said, I show up, LeBron has to be there. Number one. And number two, no editing. Don't edit shit out. Cliff note stuff, clip things, cut it out. Nah. Let the public see. I know if I told him to come on First Take, he ain't gonna want to do that because he views that as benefiting me. I know that if I wanted him to come on this podcast, he viewed that as benefiting me. Ladies and gentlemen, I offered to come on his spot. Name the time and place and I'll show up. By my damn self. I was never taken up on that offer. Because you see, it's real easy to talk that talk like you got all the facts when I'm not there to respond. It's another thing entirely if I'm there to refute all the bullshit coming out your mouth.
Man, Stephen A. Smith, that was a crazy build-up and you landed on nothing. You said you had a nugget of information. I'm thinking it's about to be some fucking something that's gonna be like, wow. Bro, you're talking about if LeBron come on your show, it's gonna benefit you. LeBron go to First Take, is gonna benefit you. If you go on The Shop, it's still gonna benefit you. How does that benefit Bron in any major way? You still gonna, Stephen A. Smith went to The Shop and had a conversation with Bron, and whatever would have happened, it would have happened. But that still benefits you. Bron is the A side, and you're the A side in what you do. But overall, Bron is the A side, and that's just the facts. But this right here, you guys are gonna be linked forever. So you're part of LeBron legacy, he's part of your legacy. So you guys right now are part of each other's legacy. But to me, that wasn't no big, huge information. I thought it was gonna be something wow. But yeah, let's continue.
But this is what he does. It's what he's always done. And then he looks at everybody else and he say, this Stephen A. man, please, whatever. Why do I take this so seriously? Because you got cats out there trying to give the impression that I come after people's families. I need y'all to pause for 1 second. And I just need y'all to think. I'm just talking to the professional athletes out there. I'm not going to even mention any names. Who have rallied to the support of LeBron like he's this big victim.
Stephen Smith is funny, bro.
There are owners. There are general managers. There are coaches. There are other players in other sports, what have you. Nepotism exists in every form of business we can muster in our minds. It's okay. It's okay. But when have you seen someone demand that the public stands down while somebody has lifted up their offspring before it was earned? When has that happened? I'm not talking about Bronny now and what we're seeing. I'm not even talking about...
But, Stephen, if you're talking about nepotism existed, well, I guess you're talking about the sport of basketball. I don't know if I can think of any, but, you know, there's a new sheriff in town, LeBron James, and he definitely brought his son with him to the NBA. So, again, if we're talking about nepotism and then you can do it, and it's the first time it's been done in the NBA, so what? And I don't think he's telling people to stand out. He clearly said I can criticize Bronny as a player, but when you get personal, that's when they get personal with him. So,
Bronny from a month ago or whatever. I'm just talking about, in general, what the whole spectrum, before he bounced the ball, what we saw, what we witnessed LeBron doing and manipulating. Tell me when we've seen somebody do that.
So what?
For someone who was universally recognized as not necessarily ready yet. Not that he wouldn't be, but not necessarily ready yet. That's what he asked of us. So I, again, was talking about dad as in, yo, he's in public eye. Don't expose him like this to us.
So you are talking about him as a father. That's not personal. That's not basketball, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's not basketball. Just
because we got a job to do. Don't do that. That's all. I wasn't the one that brought up the legitimacy of his McDonald's All-American appearance on the roster. Kendrick Perkins did that. Numerous people pointed to other folks in high school basketball at the time and they were questioning their worthiness. I didn't do that. When he had the heart ailment, oh my God, I hope he's okay. When he decided to pass up staying at USC and turn pro, cool. When opening night took place and the Griffies were in attendance, I was in Crypto.com arena standing clapping. All of that got ignored. Why did it get ignored, ladies and gentlemen? Because LeBron, it wasn't about the problem that LeBron had, about his son. It was LeBron having a problem and finally finding an excuse to do what he always wanted to do, which was confront me in an unfortunate and public platform.
To Stephen A. Smith's point, I do feel like that there's been some like tension and animosity between them before the whole Bronny situation, and I think this was kind of like adding more fuel to the fire, and him being brought up as a father, he was like, okay, enough is enough of my attack. So I do give him that. Like, I think it was some attention there. Not attention, what is it? Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but yeah.
I'm not going to go as far as I want to go in saying how weak that stuff is in terms of how he confronted me. I would have waited. I got nothing to say to him now. You know, we'll probably never speak in life again. But if he wanted, you know, I wish he had the shop. I wish he invited me on. Not my platform, his platform. You can't defend the stuff that he's done. You have no idea, but he knows I know. We want to go there, let's go there. Slithering and just through stuff and always with the two-faced nonsense. Ooh, y'all don't know the half. Y'all don't know. So when he went on Pat McAfee's show earlier today, it was no surprise. The show that comes on after First Take. The show that stars me. I know that you got a new podcast coming out with Steve Nash. No surprise there. JJ Redick, Steve Nash. No surprise. Got the podcast coming out. Definitely want to promote that basketball podcast. And we should watch it. We should learn because LeBron knows more basketball than most people forgot. Just like he said to Pat McAfee. His mind. He thinks the game. Most of these people rely on their athleticism and their talents and their skill. He relies on his brain. He's absolutely right. And he knows basketball backwards and forwards. That has nothing to do with how you've treated people. That has nothing to do with the things that you've said. That has nothing to do with you confronting me about doing my job. And everybody wants to look at it and say, there's a father, there's a father, there's a father. Because I said, as a father, I stand by that. Not because he's Bronny's father. I stand by it because he was the one putting everything on public display. We didn't have to know that he didn't care about, I'm sorry. We did not have to know that he was willing to go someplace else practically for free. We did not have to know that it was not about the money. We did not have to hear him say, you want me, draft Bronny. We did not have to hear him say, my son is better than half the players or some of the players in the NBA right now before he ever played an NBA game. You did that. That was LeBron James who did that. He wasn't asked that. He wasn't asked his level of culpability in all of this. He goes on there and he talks smack. Cool, I got it. I got it. So, it is what...
Everything Stephen A. Smith just said is all true. LeBron was promoting Bronny before he got to the league. And some player might even find it to be disrespectful. Your son is not even in the league, and you're saying that your son is better than half or some of the players in the NBA. They can look at that as disrespect. Like, yo, what are you talking about? We really actually think that your son is not that good. And LeBron did put that out there. Yo, I'm going to any team that drop Bronny. It's not about the money. So you did put all this information out. So those are all like ammo that people can use against you. So to Stephen A. point, that makes sense. That makes sense.
What it is. There's really not much else to say other than this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that you understand what I'm about to say. To me, anyway. I'm not a liar. You might not like what I say. Every truth ain't meant to be told. But I don't go on the airwaves and lie. I did not know we were being videoed at courtside. He was walking out of a timeout. I did not know initially that after he finished getting in my face, he looked right up at the camera. Go back and look at the angle. I didn't know that.
If you want to learn how to...
I still don't get that point. Okay, he looked at the camera. Bro, it's Bron. There's so many cameras out. That's not the only angle. So I'm trying to understand what he's saying. He did it for the camera, or did he plant the camera there? Like, what is it? Like, I don't get it.
That. I didn't know that. When I went on the air the next morning, we had a morning meeting, at which time I said to the staff at First Take, I don't feel like talking about this. And then minutes later, they said it's the #1 trending topic in sports. You have to talk about it. The bosses, you have to talk about it. What do you mean you ain't talking about it? This is what you do. This is sports. This is a sports story, and it directly involves you. What you mean you ain't talking about it? So he might think I'm salivating and I was happy to discuss it. I'm not happy to discuss a dude getting in my face, telling me stop shitting on his son. I'm not happy about that. I think Savannah is the first lady of the NBA. I think she's an absolutely wonderful human being that has always been nothing but kind to me. You think I like the thought of pissing her off? Gloria James, an absolutely wonderful person that I have seen over the years and has never been anything but the most pleasant person in the world to me. I don't like the thought of upsetting her. Or anybody that cares about him. I certainly don't want to hurt Bronny. I'm rooting for the kid. But the news is the news. The sport is the sport. And the story was the story. So
I'm gonna say this. I like with Stephen A. Smith, right? And everything he just said, I believe he's very sincere, and also he's being honest about, you know, he's not trying to like hurt Bronny. He's not hating on Bronny. I think he's doing his job in criticizing the player. I think like sometimes it's like there's a thin line when you're criticizing the player. There's a thin line where it's like it's just criticizing the basketball player and getting personal. Do I feel like that he got personal to a certain extent? Yes. I don't think it was like egregious. I don't think it should have went that far when LeBron approached him to this point. But I think the thing that what they need to do is, I would love to see this. I would love to see Stephen A. Smith and LeBron sit down and talk. I would love to see that. Like, not on some like negative stuff, but as grown men. And like, I feel like there's been some miscommunication and misunderstanding, and that could be easily repaired. Like, they're both GOATs. LeBron is he's one of the GOATs in the NBA. And obviously, I don't know who has done it better than Stephen A. Smith in, like, when it comes to being a sport analyst. Like, you can't, Skip Bayless is in there too, but like Stephen A. Smith is the guy that's been holding the torch. So yeah, man, I would love to see that.
LeBron could say anything he wants, and I wanted to talk about him or whatever. And I'm going to continue to talk to you about you, bro. When you retire, let's see how much I talk to you about you then. You won't matter much.
That's a lie. When LeBron retire, he's gonna matter. The rating's gonna be affected. One, and y'all still talking about MJ today, about who's a GOAT. So that conversation is gonna prolong forever. So y'all still gonna talk about him. I'm sorry.
I promise you, I won't be talking about you much when you stop playing. But as long as you're playing, I'm gonna talk about you, because that's my job, and I'm gonna be very objective about it. You deserve praise. I'm gonna give it to you. You deserve criticism. I'm going to give that too. But at least I'm going to tell the truth instead of lying like LeBron James has been lying, using his son as an excuse to say what he said to me. He has a problem with me. He knows good and damn well I wasn't shitting on his son. He has a problem. And instead of talking to me about it, he came at me when I wasn't in a position to respond.
Okay, we're gonna stop there and wrap it up. It's kind of like saying the same thing, calling LeBron a liar, saying LeBron using his son to get at him. Honestly, I don't know how LeBron really feels, if that's the main reason. And I'm not also gonna invalidate Stephen A. Smith's point that LeBron has an issue with him. That's why he's coming at him. It could be a combination of both. They both could be true, but I don't think this relationship is gonna be able to like be fixed or repaired. I hope it does, but I don't think it's gonna be able to. I don't think they ever had a relationship. But you calling LeBron a liar and he said using his son, I don't think he's gonna take. I don't think he's gonna like that. So they probably never would amend their relationship or anything, or even sit down. But let's just see what happened. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And let me know. I might do a part 2 of this. Let me know if you guys want to see a part 2. Leave a comment in there, because it's pretty long. And yeah, and also we have a weekly podcast that we usually do on Tuesday and Thursday. Me and my co-host Mo. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and go check out the podcast. We out. Peace.